Um,
Ayana, I think your volume went out. Check your phone chat.
Alexa,
We can hear you now. You coordinator. After serving some of life's toughest challenges, she found her life's purpose in the recovery ministry. As a transformation coach and certified peer specialist in the areas of addiction, recovery, and mental health and whole wellness, she supports women on their transformation journeys. She's a wife and mother of three, an artist, a serial entrepreneur, and a newly published author. So let's all give Miss Krista a warm welcome to the stage. Krista, you can take it away now.
hello, 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 ladies. I hope everyone is doing well. It is so amazing to just be here in this space, this safe space with all these beautiful, beautiful individuals. Um, First, I would just like to say thank you so much to Miss Sophia Gathers for she is the founder of Petals, and this is such a beautiful space that I have had the privilege to grow in myself. And I would also like to thank the whole board, everybody here. It really does feel like a sisterhood. I get support here. I learn here. It's perfect. And thank you, Ayana, for all that you've done to make this event possible today. So, bloom where you are. Man, that title from the moment that I heard it touched my heart in a special way. So, when I think about blooming where I am, like when we think of bloom, like I think of a flower, right? And I think of all the beauty that a flower is and everything. But to get there, it's a whole process. And sometimes, most times, it is not easy. It might be some easy parts, some easy seasons. But for the most part, there are going to be some ups and there are going to be some downs. So let's get into it. The fact that you are here today means that you've made a decision to pause, a decision to pour into yourself and create space for growth. And I want you to know something. You belong here. So whether you walked in today feeling excited, overwhelmed, hopeful, tired, uncertain, or simply curious about what God wants to show you, there is something for you in this moment. The beautiful thing about a garden is that every flower is not in the same stage of growth. But another beautiful thing that I've noticed is you don't see a sunflower looking at a rose wishing that it could be a rose, you know? They're just beautiful in their own right. And there's no such thing really to me as a weed because every flower serves a purpose. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here. If it's blooming, baby, let it bloom. Enjoy the beauty that it is. So, whether when you think about blooming, you think about the rough patches, or you think about the part where you finally make it and you're blooming and you're spreading beauty to others. Either way, if you're in this room, I pray that you get something from this message today. The beautiful thing about it is that some of us are just beginning. Some of us are already blooming. Some of us are strengthened. Some of us are pruned, but every stage matters. Every season matters. And that's the heart behind today's message, to bloom exactly where you are. Not waiting for everything to be perfect, not waiting until every obstacle has been removed, not when life looks exactly how you imagined that it would look, but right where God has you right now. So I'm going to share some of these slides. Let's see, pull up this presentation. Share. All right. Now, all right. Have you ever felt like your life was on pause while everyone else seemed to be moving forward? And you can put those comments in the chat. Have you ever felt like your life was on pause while everyone else seemed to be moving forward? You see, sometimes we can get comfortable just being a seed inside of a beautiful flower that has already bloomed and is sharing its beauty with the world. And then sometimes a storm comes, and sometimes the wind blows us to and fro. Our seeds as seeds, we get spreaded all across, not knowing what type of ground we may land on. And at times it might seem like we get buried. When a seed is buried, it's dark, it's lonely by themselves. You might be thinking, as a spiritual person, you might be thinking, man, it feels like God has just buried me. Have you ever felt like God just left you, like you've been buried? For me, that has happened. I can remember a dark time in my life calling out saying, where is God? But the word says that God will never leave or forsake us. And so when I look back now, what I can see is that God didn't bury me. He didn't forsake me. He didn't leave me lonely. He was planting me. He was giving me time to grow, time to take root, time to build a foundation, time to learn everything that I needed to learn, even though it may have hurt me, even though it may have felt bad, learning what I needed to learn so that I could step into the purpose to bloom and be the person that He called me to be today. So if you ever feel like you're in times like that, in those dark times, my suggestion is to pray, to get a team of strong women around you that you can trust, that have your best intentions at heart. And when you get those women around you, do the same for them. Be that support to them. Don't just always look for something, but give too, right? So that's what we're here for. And that's what Petals can be for you if you are looking for a support system. But also looking at identity scriptures, identity in Christ, or saying affirmations out loud, looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing yourself who you want to be, even if you don't see that person right then when you look into the mirror. To look through your life and look at the things that you can change, that you can improve. Find ways to improve those things. Because every morning that you wake up and you still have breath in your lungs, that is like a signed permission slip from God saying that you have time today to change anything, improve anything in your life that you don't like, that you want to make better. So let's go to the next slide. The truth about growth. Roots grow before flowers bloom. Growth isn't always visible. So as you can see, that seed has been buried. It's been dark. But not only is it growing the foundation and the roots and digging into the earth and being able to pull nutrients up from the soil, from the earth, but it's also starting to sprout. Is that the season you're in right now? Every garden has seasons, right? You've got your you've got your growing season, your blooming season, your harvesting season, your waiting. Put in the chat right now what season you think you're in right now. Are you blooming, growing, harvesting, or waiting right now? Growth through adversity. Storms strengthen roots. If we are never tested in this life, how will we ever be able to know if we're strong enough to make it through? We talk about mental health a lot through P.E.T.A.L.S and about, how to just be stronger, how to be more resilient. And we see stories sometimes about children, very sad stories where they've lost the desire to live. And a lot of people say, I've heard a lot of people say, well, they're kids. They don't have any bills. They're not going through anything. How could they just, give up on life? But the truth is, if you've never been through anything, the hardest thing you've ever gone through is the hardest thing you've ever gone through. And that hardest thing might just be being bullied at school. But once we see that we can get through things and we're resilient, if you look back over your life, you're still here right now. So there's a purpose for your life. And it means that everything that you've lived through thus far brought you to where you are today. And if you can make it through those things, you'll make it through the next things that come as well. It grows our faith. It builds our faith to say that if I made it through that, I can make it through this too. Listening to others tell their stories and seeing what they've been through also helps us to know that if that person has been through something, I can go through it too. Experience is the best teacher, but you don't have to necessarily experience something to learn from it, to grow from it, to know how to live through it if it comes to you. Comparison is the thief of joy. No two flowers are the same. Now, I spoke a little bit about this earlier where you don't see a sunflower looking at a rose and wishing that it could be a rose. No, because they're beautiful just the same. And there are no such things as weeds. God made us all exactly how he wanted us to be. So we don't have to compare ourselves to each other. If you see somebody that's doing something amazing, they're doing something great, I would encourage you to get to know that person better. Like, go out to eat with them, have a chat with them, figure out how you can work together, how you can come together to do something for the community together. If they're doing something like, say for instance, they bought a house and you would like a house, you're not sure exactly how to go about getting one, what the steps are, but you want one. If you talk to that person, they are a wealth of knowledge right there. They can tell you exactly how they did it. Now, some people gatekeep, but I would encourage you, don't gatekeep. What we give out, we give back. So what we give out, we get back. And so I would encourage you to help other people. It'll come right back to you. Faith during the wait. What is faith? Faith is trusting in God. It's trusting in the process, not just celebrating him in the promise. So trust in God, remain planted exactly where you are, and don't give up. That doesn't mean that if you've planted this seed, you've got the faith of a mustard seed. The Bible says all you need is the faith of a mustard seed, the size of a mustard seed, tiny. And you can say to a mountain, move, and that mountain will move. So whatever the mountain is in your life right now, whether that be a hang up, a habit, if it is your financial situation, your health, your relationships, your career, whatever it is, having faith can help you to get through that. And connection is the opposite of whatever it is you're going through. Connection with God, connection with your community. So don't give up, because God isn't giving up. And how big, no matter how big your situation is, God is bigger. Reflection. Ask yourself these questions. What season am I in? And I hope you have like some notes or something like that so you can come back to this. But what season are you in right now? Really think about it. How do you feel right now? What is God trying to teach you right now in this season of your life? Is he teaching you patience? Is he teaching you forbearance? Is he teaching you how to trust people? Is he teaching you the true definition of joy? Because happiness is fleeting, it's temporary, and it's based on outside things. But joy, you can have joy in your heart in the middle of a storm, knowing that you feel peace that surpasses all understanding from God, because these are his promises. What are you resisting in your life right now? Is God trying to tell you something? Has He put an assignment on your life? Has He put it on your heart, a burden, something that He wants you to do? And you're looking at it like, I don't know, who, me, God? Me? You want me to do that? Yes. If not you, who? And what needs to grow in your life? What needs to grow? What are some areas that you can improve? But also, what are some things you can cut back? It's a dangerous prayer to pray to God and say, God, please remove anything from my life that is not of you. Anything that you didn't call me to do, God, just let it just fall off. Because some of those things we might really love. We might really enjoy doing those things. But did God call us to do those things? So while you think about that, I'm going to do a little sound session.
Krista, we can't hear your sound session.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I had it right yesterday. I don't know why it's not working today, but we will move along. All right. So, for our next slide, we are talking about life lessons. So, every season has a purpose. Your purpose in this season may be being planted, it may be growing roots, it may be blooming in your own timing, not rushing God, not striving, not overdoing it, because we do not want to run ourselves into burnout and exhaustion and overwhelm, because we cannot be our best selves to do whatever it is we are called to do if we are in those states of mind. We want to thrive with a regulated nervous system, good boundaries, healthy boundaries in place, and being able to rest and know that the more I rest, the more I'm blessed. Your roots matter. So, what are your roots? Know your foundation. Know the things that won't change. Know the people that in your life that you can depend on, the organizations that you can reach out to. Know your community. And also remember that growth takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day. And He's an on time God. Bloom anyway. Bloom where you are. Not when everything is perfect, not when every problem is solved, despite being disappointed, despite the delays, despite the detours, the doubts, the setbacks, uncertainty, God is still growing in you. And sometimes the devil can try to get in our head, or other people's voices, or even our own thoughts. Sometimes thoughts can be our worst enemy. We can be our own worst enemy. The inner me can be the worst enemy, right? My thoughts try to tell me sometimes like I'm not doing enough. And I know I'm doing a lot, but if it catches me on the right day when I'm hungry, angry, tired, lonely, HALT, that acronym, if it catches me on one of those days when I'm not feeling my best, I haven't had enough rest or something, I can start to believe those things. And one of the things that I like to do is I take a lot of photos, right, on my phone. And I don't even post all of them to social media or anything. I take these pictures, and when I have those voices come in my head, those thoughts come in my head, trying to tell me that I'm not enough or that I'm not doing enough, that I'm not being productive enough, I go through the pictures on my phone and I'm like, wow, like this was just a month or two ago. And it's like, it just wasn't in the forefront of my mind. So having those memories, those physical things that I can look at, photos that I can look at and see all the things that I've been doing helps me. Another way is journaling, writing down the things that you want to do and then checking off the things that you have done. Not just journaling and writing down things, but even on Saturdays, I like to, instead of writing my journal, I like to pick up my journal, one of my old journals from months ago, sometimes years ago. I pick up a journal and I will reread what I wrote. I reread what I prayed about and realize that I'm standing in the prayers of yesterday. I'm standing in answered prayers from a year ago. Having gratitude, having a gratitude list helps with those things. Being thankful for what we have, and God will continue to give us more. So bloom anyway. Don't give up. So, what's in your garden? Ask yourself, what am I currently growing? You want to make sure you're growing the right things, right? You don't want to grow things that are unhelpful to us, things that will hinder our growth, right? Because if we have weeds growing in our garden, that can cut us down. It can stop our growth. We won't be growing the right thing, we'll be growing some of the wrong things. So, what weeds do I need to remove? And what seeds am I planting today? What other types of things are living in my garden? Because there are some good insects that can come into our garden, like some earthworms to help make the soil rich and nourishing. But there's also some bad things in our garden, like some bugs that'll eat up our leaves, right? Like the roly polies and the aphids and all of those types of things that can come and chew holes in our leaves and stun our growth, right? But you got butterflies that come by and take the pollen and spread it all over, pollinating, helping us get more fruits and vegetables. We want to see the fruit from our labor. What seeds are you planting today? Know what you're growing. Plant with intention. You wouldn't just find a seed and say, "Well, I don't know what type of seed this is, but I'm going to plant it right here in my garden." If you did find a seed and you didn't know what it was, maybe planting it to the side to see what may come up. But in the garden, you should know what type of seed is it that you're planting, and plant with intention, because some things don't grow well together. Some things will stunt the growth of the plant beside it. Some things need more space than other things because it grows to be bigger than other things. So let's share. Share one thought that stood out to you, something that really stood out to you. Go ahead and open it. Don't be shy. Let's talk about it. Bloom where you are. Where are you planted? What season are you in? What are some of the things that stood out today? You can unmute and just share, or you can put it in the chat. Let's see who all is here.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I was trying to say something, but my mic wasn't working. But when you asked the question about like what season we were in, it was kind of like what stood out to me was that I kind of found it a little difficult to figure out exactly what season I'm in, because sometimes I feel like I'm waiting, and then sometimes I feel like I'm blooming in certain areas, and sometimes I do feel like I'm growing, but um, yeah, it was kind of difficult to just pick one, because I feel like I circled through uh, the seasons depending on the week sometimes. So I shared it.
Thank you so much. And I can totally understand that. I relate to that myself. Like, sometimes I may think that I'm blooming and then have a setback, and something that I thought was going to happen falls through and I can't do it. And so I'm right back to where I started, but that resiliency and not giving up. So just to even be thinking about this, what we think about, we bring about, right? So just to even be thinking about this and knowing what to pray for clarity. God, show me, what season am I in? What is it that you have for my life right now for this season? Being a lot of times we have not because we ask not. Ask and it is given. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will open unto you. And so sometimes having people around us too, that connection, and knowing that if I don't know what season I'm in, I have people around me that are watching me, that have my back and my support team, and they can kind of sometimes point me in the right direction when I can't see it myself. All right. If that is all, then I am going to turn it over, Miss Sophia.